So hello, Tammie. Thank you for volunteering to do a Bling card reading with me today. I so appreciate that.
You're very welcome. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. So for those of you who are watching us, on the Natural TV channel, I'm Alison Williams. I'm an empowerment and self-directed self-love strategist and Bling angel, which is what I'll be doing today. And my beautiful companion tonight is Tammie Horton. And I'll let Tammie introduce herself to you. We both live in Canberra and we met during a speaker's boot camp. So yeah. Tammie, over to you.
Hi, everyone. My name's Tammie Horton. I am the CEO and founder of Phoenix Initiative. I'm a mental health trainer and coach. And I just love helping people to live their best lives despite the challenges that life throws at us sometimes.
And you've certainly had your share of those. And like the Phoenix, you have risen from the ashes. So I love the name of your foundation. And I love the fact that you spelled it in a very creative way, but it's a meaningful way. You just want to run us through what Phoenix stands for with your spelling, please, Tammie?
Yeah, absolutely. So I love a good acronym. So everything I do is acronyms. So Phoenix actually stands for passionate, hopeful, young at heart, noetic, indomitable, and extraordinary. So when I say those things, because I encourage people to be a phoenix, so it's being passionate, so living as if you're on fire from within, hopeful, because when you start with hope, anything's possible, young at heart, be open to new opportunities and develop a beginner's mind. Noetic is trust your inner wisdom because you're wiser than you think. I is indomitable, be brave, strong, and determined, and X is extraordinary. Why fit in when you were born to stand out?
I love it. And you so definitely, epitomize all those things. So I love that.
Thank you.
Okay, let me just show you what a Bling angel does. I'm going to have to share my screen. So as a Bling angel, we have a Bling code. And what we do is we believe in our clients until they do. We love and listen with an open heart. We inspire women to connect to their intuition. We nurture others as well as ourselves. And we gift women permission to be themselves. So with that beautiful code in mind, how can you do anything but empower the world, which is what I'm all about. So empowering women is my passion. Awesome. So thanks, Tammie. Now, I'll just like to explain the game. I know you've played the game in person, which is a fabulous experience. But for people watching, Bling is just an Australian only so far phenomenon. It's a game, it's a manifesting game that's called Find Your Bling. And it was created by Angie Rassi, who was a Louise Hay trainer and a coach for many years. And she created a game to play with her clients because Angie's just a fun-loving girl. But of course, it had to be meaningful in terms of creating growth, personal development and growth, and all those things that we've talked about, love, intuition, belief, and believing yourself and growing. So that's virtually there are 8 decks in the game, but I'll just show people what the board looks like. So I'm not talking in a vacuum. So as you can see there are 8, it's an octagonal board. There are 8 decks and each deck has 100 cards. And these are the markers, they're diamonds instead of the Monopoly boot or trend, which is pretty boring because our skills like a bit of bling. So we've got some diamonds to play the game. Now, how it works is that you bring a question or an intention to the game, something you want to bring into your life or something you want to release from your life. And then we go around the board and wherever your marker lands, that's the color of the card we pick up. And the card we pick up, we read, and we then see how does that relate to our question. Now, somebody said to me that this was better than tarot. With due respect to tarot card readers and the tarot, modality, for want of a better word, what I love about this is that the Bling cards actually, you get to interact with them. So whatever the message is, you get to see how does that work in my life. You get to go into your own intuition, into your own heart, and then determine what the message is and where it resonates. So I know that you are probably, busting to go, Tammie. So let's do it. So what is your question that you've got today, Tammie, please?
All right. So there's been something that's been playing out for a little bit for me recently, and it's about a feeling of feeling invisible. And it plays out in a number of different parts of my life, both personally and in business. And so now I just want to explore what it is about the invisibility. So is it something that I'm actually doing that's causing me to be invisible? Or is it just my inner demon voice saying, oh, well, there we go again, you're invisible, and it's just reinforcing it. So it's around this, not being seen, or it's more than not being seen than the not being heard, because people hear me when I speak, but it's about the not being seen. So so that's kind of the focus of the question.
And I love that, because you are such a dynamic woman. You are a fabulous speaker. I've heard you speak on more than one occasion. You do have a YouTube channel, do you not?
I do.
Yeah. And that is, there's some fantastic content in that. So if anybody watching, go and look for Tammie and on YouTube. She has a lovely story about Kumbaya, and she plays the ukulele too. She's so talented. So I'm so blessed to have you here. And to make yourself vulnerable is really brave of you. So thank you. I do appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Well, now, I heard what you said about being invisible and not being heard or seen, but generally we sort of say, what question would you like to bring to the game? And an open-ended question is the best way to get some breakthroughs. So what open-ended question kind of resonates for you along these lines?
So the open-ended question is what is it that's causing me to be invisible right now?
And I'm just writing everything down because that keeps me on the ball. And also, each card that we pick, I'll keep for you, and then I'll photograph and send it to you on Messenger afterwards, so you have a copy of the messages that come tonight.
Thank you.
So let me just see. You've got, what is causing me to be invisible right now? Is that your question, Tammie?
It is. Thank you.
Awesome. And I love the fact that you've got right now, because that shows that you're not kind of stuck in there, and you're realizing that this is just a journey. Because life is all about a journey. It's never, fully smooth. In fact, it would be boring because it'd just be flat. We do want some ups and downs, as long as the downs are not too down. But again, it's how we navigate those downs. So beautiful. Let's get started. So because, of course, we can't throw dice tonight on screen, I have created one.
Think about the air. Doctors wear masks during surgery. Dental hygienists wear them during routine procedures. There is risk of spreading C. diff from simply flushing a toilet. Of the nearly 2 million people contracting healthcare-acquired infections each year, nearly 99,000 people die, and the cost to the healthcare system is estimated to be $20 billion annually. UV has been used as a disinfection tool for decades in healthcare. But the challenge with UVC technology has always been the method of delivery. It can't be used in occupied spaces. Disinfection only lasts until the space is occupied again, and it's only effective in areas that are direct line of sight. Until now. That is exactly what makes UV24 different. Operating 24/7, 365 in occupied spaces, UV24 is a fast, continuous UVC air purification system that reduces the levels of bacteria and fungi in treated air and reduces the settling of viable bacteria and fungi on surfaces. Healthcare staff have reported improved indoor air quality and reduced odors. The patented UV24 is an active system that draws microorganisms to a UV light. There are 2 vents on the face of the fixture. Behind one is an array of fans which draws air through a MERV 6 filter which removes larger particles of dust. Air is pulled through the filter into the UV chamber mounted on the back of the fixture at approximately 50 cubic feet per minute. It can treat a volume of air equivalent to a 10 by 10 by 8 foot room 4 times per hour. The air moves through a set of safety baffles which prevent the UV light from escaping the chamber. Once in the chamber, a high-intensity UV lamp operates at the peak wavelength of 253.7 nanometers. The air is then pushed through an opposing grill at a 30-degree angle to promote circulation of the treated air throughout the room. Clinical studies have demonstrated that UV24 is effective in removing better than 90% of airborne pathogens, including those most responsible for HAIs. Once UV24 is installed, it requires no engineering controls to operate and minimal maintenance, which helps keep operational costs low. UV24 is designed for use in hospitals, long-term care facilities, nursing homes, schools, commercial office buildings, and any other location where cleaner environmental air is desired. The energy-efficient UV24 is available in 3 styles. For more information on UV24, contact your local distributor.
Mouse, I've created an on-screen wheel of names, which I'm very proud of, my dad, because I'm not generally somebody who's very technically oriented. So I'll just go back to my Bling code, and next door to it is the wheel of names. And I'm just going to spin the wheel and we'll see which deck comes up for you, Tammie. Oh, it's the inspiration deck, and inspiration is purple is your favorite color, is it not?
It certainly is.
Okay, so these are the diamond cards that actually explain the flavor, if you like, of each deck. So the inspiration deck is about connecting with your intuition, your inner intelligence, and inspiring new ideas to touch your life. It's like receiving a gift from a wise owl, allowing you to express your creativity. When you choose an inspiration card, read it and notice the awareness and clarity you receive. Inspiration is a very personal thing. Notice how this card relates to your question. Inspiration awakens new possibilities and excites your passion and purpose within. Now that's exciting.
I like that. I like the inspiration cards.
Yes, me too. I always say that's my favorite deck, but you know, each deck is my favorite deck, which is why, I mean, you can buy the whole game to play at home with your family, or with, if you're in business, with your team. It's just a fabulous tool for conversations. And it's obviously a great coaching tool if you're a coach. But because you can buy the whole game, as I said, as a set, but you can also buy the individual decks. But I love the decks so much that I want them all. So I may as well just buy the game. Okay, so I've been shuffling as we've been talking, or as I've been talking. Tell me when to stop, please.
Oh, I like this. Stop.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, there are 100 cards, as I say, in each deck, so they tends to be quite a lot to hold. Now I've got a big stack in my left hand and a small stack in my right hand. Which would you like?
The small stack, please.
Awesome. Interesting. People often go for the big one. But the thing with Bling, as you would know because you've already played, is that it's always the right card that comes up. Doesn't matter which card, it's always the perfect one. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see all these played out. I'll just go along and you tell me when to stop.
Stop.
That one?
Yep.
Okay. And sometimes 2 cards come up, in which case we take them both and we see what messages come up and which one really resonates. I love this. Allow any obstacles to simply melt away.
Oh, okay.
So how does that relate to your question?
Allow any obstacles to simply melt away. but I think some of the obstacle stuff, like I was saying at the beginning, I think it's some of that inner talk that comes up for me when I notice for whatever reason I'm invisible. So I'll give you an example. A few months ago, I became a master instructor of mental health first aid. And normally Mental Health First Aid Australia, when they send out the newsletter, they list everyone who's become a new master or done 100 courses or done 250, all that type of stuff. And I reached my master status. I got the little tile on their system, but there was no recognition in the email. And then it took me a while to follow up, and it's like, oh, sorry about that. Oh, yes, you've achieved it. So here's your email saying, yes, you've achieved it. But I've also just recently become a principal master instructor, and I haven't received an email to say, congratulations, you're now principal master instructor. So I'm kind of hanging out to see in the next newsletter to see if my name's listed. And if it's not, there'll be this inner voice that says, oh, see, there you go, you're invisible again, right? But does it really? And so then I have to say to myself, well, does it really matter? And so I think it's that voice of, oh, well, there you go, you're invisible again, of letting just that slide away, because does it really matter that my name's not in a newsletter? Well, no, because it's the work that I'm doing is what the important thing is, not about the recognition per se, but it's just nice to see your name. There's a little bit to get that social proof stuff, but I know that the work I do is most important. So maybe I think that's what's coming up for me, is to let some of that negative self-talk that comes up, to just let that go.
Awesome. There's so much gold in what you've just shared, Tammie. Firstly, may I say congratulations for both your initial master's qualification and then the principal master's instructor status. So well done, you. Congratulations. The other thing, pardon?
Hey, I got recognition.
Well, absolutely. But you've had so much gold in what you've said, because, firstly, which is the last thing you said, that do you really need the recognition? Because you've done the work, that you've got everything that's behind, what you've achieved. And really being happy within ourselves is a lot of what I do with self-love. That's really important. But having said that, I'm also about, owning your magnificence, owning your greatness. And part of that is having other people acknowledge our magnificence and our greatness, because too often we want to push it away for a whole host of other reasons. Yeah. So there's so much in what you've said that I think, people listening to you, and certainly me, I've already got a lot out of, and people listening to you could also get so much from. There's something else I'd like to share, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
And that is, I think quite often, there's Jake Ducey, who's somebody I quite like watching on YouTube. As he says, and so does Joe Dispenza and lots of other people. But as Jake says, neurons that fire together, wire together. So the more often we put something out there, the more often it's getting entrenched in our brain. And also people who believe in the law of attraction, they say, well, if you're putting it out there, that's what you're going to get. So if you're putting out there that I'm unheard, I'm unseen, I'm overlooked, then you will get more of that. So that might be something to consider as well.
Yeah. Oh, look, I totally agree with that statement. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because I was actually just working on some of that stuff this afternoon, thinking about, well, what does mindset mean to me? And one of those things is those intentions that you send out into the world, and the things that if you don't set good intentions, then the poor intentions will be what you get. But if you set the good intentions, then that's what returns. So it's interesting that you've brought that up, because it's kind of played out a little bit for me this afternoon.
As I said, it's always the right card that comes up. Yeah. It's amazing. Well, thank you for sharing, and thank you for being so vulnerable with that. I would like to just delve a little deeper into that card. So what else has it brought up for you? Because you said it could be your inner voice. Is there anything else that we haven't mentioned?
Look, I I think some of the invisibility stuff, when we go really deep into, because I've done an awful lot of work on myself, as you know, from my background, I've I'm not the same person I was a few years ago. Well, I'm not the same person every day when I wake up, because
of course,
I'm constantly reiterating. But I think a lot of this invisible stuff comes from being compared to other people growing up. And it's like, well, why can't you be more like this one or that one? And so I think deep down, there's still despite the fact I've done a lot of work on that, I think there's still an element of hurt, because I'm still not being seen for me, if that makes sense. It's there's all these other people that are out there. So I think that might be an element of it too. There's still a level of hurt of, but why am I not good enough just as I am?
Absolutely.
So I think that might be that underlying thing. And because I've been thinking about this invisible thing for a while now. It's like, well, why does this happen? That like this keeps on happening. So I think it is that it's still that there's a level of hurt. So maybe I need to acknowledge that, it hurts when I'm not seen. But
let's do that now.
Yeah. So, well, it does hurt when I'm not seen.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't control what other people do. All I can do is, like you've said, reinforce the positive stuff for me to say I am doing a good thing. I am making a difference in the world. And the people that need to see me are seeing me, and more people will see me as, the word spreads.
Absolutely. And, as you've been talking, I've just been getting goosebumps in my whole body. And that's always, to me, a sign that, stuff is landing. So I really love that you share that. So thank you. So what would you like to, so that hurt person, what would you like to tell hurt Tammie?
Tell the hurt person, now, well, this is going back. This is now inner child stuff, right? I think what I would want to say to that inner child of mine is that she's a very unique individual, and not everybody gets her, and so people will push you away because they don't understand you. But it's okay. You are extraordinary, and you're not supposed to be like other people. It's all right, but I acknowledge that you are hurt, but I'm here with you on this journey.
I love it. Again, that was just such a powerful statement, or number of statements. And how did that make you feel?
Yeah, actually, my heart feels lighter.
I'm happy that that's the case.
Interestingly enough, I feel it here.
Yeah, I do too. Across the screen, inside the space. So thank you for sharing that gift with me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And that was a gift for yourself too. So beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we should do another card.
Oh, yes, please.
Oh, no, it's fun, isn't it?
I just love this game. To anyone who's watching, if you get the opportunity to do one of these games, you just have to do it. You have to.
Well, we actually played online as well. And of course, in Australia, we have events. I think Angie's hoping to bring the game to North America. That's the growth, by the way. And, what we're doing is now a card reading, so to speak. And that's something that I do online with people. There's a 20 minutes, it's 55 Australian dollars, up to 2.5 hours for $250. So I don't do coaching sessions by themselves, because I don't think you can really, it's like going to the gym once, nothing's going to happen, right, with once. So I don't do a coaching session as individuals, but doing a Bling card reading is a fabulous way to have one session that can really have some fabulous breakthroughs. And I think we just experienced one with you, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we did.
Beautiful. So this is a growth card. Now we're running out of time for this episode, and I'm wondering if we do the growth card, and maybe we can do part 2 if you're okay with that.
Sure.
Okay. So the growth card, there's diamonds within. The growth card deck is about evolving and allowing yourself to grow more of your absolute gorgeousness. By opening your heart, you embrace compassion and positive energy, allowing the essence of you to flow. When you choose a growth card, read it and notice any insights your heart receives. Understanding comes from deep within. Notice how this card relates to your question. Your heart holds the answers. It knows the way. Trust it. How beautiful is that?
Yeah, they're gorgeous. I love the descriptions for each of the decks. Yeah.
Angie is an amazing woman. She's had a very interesting life, and her life's lessons are all poured into these cards. And she often, when we've done training and what have you, she will pick up a card and she'll say, I read this card when I was going through this. So it's just such a fabulous, life's journey, hers, that she shares with us. And now we get to, use the cards to improve our own life's journey. Yeah. Okay, so I'm shuffling. So just tell me when to stop.
Okay. Stop.
Okay. Again, I've got a small one and a big one.
We'll stick with the smalls.
Okay. The same thing happened with another lady I was doing a reading for the other day. She went through all the smalls and she had some fabulous breakthroughs herself.
Yeah. Oh, it just manages to limit down the card size. So you don't have to hold so many.
You're a darling. I love you. Okay.
All right.
Here we are.
Yeah, keep going, 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 keep going. That one.
That one?
Yep, that one.
As I said, it's always the right card.
That's right. It had a slightly different color to it.
Oh, cool. I love this. Where can I add more fun into my life?
Oh, okay. Fun. So this is another thing that's been coming up a little bit lately too, particularly since I played the game last time. And I was talking with my mother, who's nearly 92. Yeah. And I said, I think I've been becoming a bit of a hermit. COVID hasn't helped. And I'm an extroverted introvert. So, in my own space, I just love to be at home, right? So I will not go out. But if I'm amongst people, I can be extroverted. But in terms of having more fun, I've actually been thinking of becoming a tourist in our own town and going out and doing things that I wouldn't normally do, that a tourist might do, and having a look at Canberra through a different lens. Because we have a lot in this town that we don't do. And that would just give me a bit of variety apart from looking at my four walls and my dogs,
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And I think by getting out and about, that'll open my eyes up a little bit. Plus, while I'm out walking, I can be doing some lives and be streaming. And look at that. I won't be invisible if I'm doing more lives on the streaming server, on, whatever social platform it is. So yeah, I think that's how I'm going to create more fun, is go out and do some more touristy things.
I love it. And how does that relate to your question about what's causing me to be invisible right now?
Oh, we see, it's all because I'm invisible because I'm stuck inside my house.
Right.
I'm not getting outdoors, and to jump on to, I'm just not out in the world as much. Yes, I go out and do my training. I deliver my training courses. I go out and do the support for my clients. But am I out in the world? No, not really. So by being out in the world, I think I will feel more seen and therefore manifest more.
Beautiful.
Being seen. Yeah.
And is that a commitment you're making right here and now?
Oh, it definitely is. So the first thing on my agenda for touristy stuff is to go to the zoo. And my Sunday has freed up, so I think it will be this Sunday.
Awesome. Now, my time has just gone off saying that our time is up.
Okay.
And I know we're going to do another session, but I would like to just let people know, those people who have seen you this session, because they might not see you next time, just where they can find you online, Tammie. So this is Tammie's details. So mine are in the corner here, but mine I think are also in my intro. And this is Tammie Horton. She's the founder of the Phoenix Initiative. You can email her at info@phoenixinitiative.com.au. a phone number that, you know, you can call her. She also does a weekly group coaching session. That's $20.22 for, because we're in the year of 2022. And please be aware that that's Aussie dollars. So it's a huge discount if you're in either North America or in the UK. So, you know, you're getting it for much less than that. And even at 2022, it's huge value. You've heard Tammie, you can see how awesome she is. She has so much knowledge. She's got such a fabulous story of her own life. And I would highly recommend that you join one of those sessions. So I'll just stop that share now, Tammie. And just in case we don't, you know, people don't come back, I don't know why they wouldn't. I just like to end, exactly. I just like to end with a Bling boost deck, which is you can make the right decision for you.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can make the right decision for you. So that's another card that we will end with. I'm just writing this down. And thank you again for joining me today. And thank you, everybody. Hope you'll come back and join us on part 2 of Tammie's session.
It's super exciting. Thank you.
It is. Oh, let me just stop the recording. I lost my recording.